Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how I made a tassel for my secret garden journal. If you've never made a tassel, I promise you it's really easy. There's several ways to make it. One of them is that you can wrap your fabric around something, but that's not the way we're going to make this one. This one we're cutting all of our strands to size. The first thing I did was measured the height of my journal, and that way I knew how long I wanted it to be. So you see a strand here, and it would be double in size, because when you make a tassel, you fold the fabric, lace, ribbon, whatever you're working with, you fold it over. Since my journal was a secret garden journal, there are all 4 seasons represented in the journal. So I wanted to make sure that I used ribbon, lace, whatever, with all of those same color palettes. Now that the trims are cut to size, I am going to go ahead and layer them. Now sometimes I do a crisscross pattern, but because of the way I'm going to tie them together, I'm not going to do a crisscross today. I'm just going to lay them on top of each other. My apologies for the outside noise. I'm actually out on my back porch enjoying the beautiful weather. It's very windy out, but it's nice and cool, which is very unusual for Florida. So you might hear some cars going by. I usually use a lobster claw clasp. That's what's on the right hand side over here. And then sometimes I use ribbon. But today I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to use a ring. So my fibers are ready, so I'm going to go ahead and twist them. You see me twisting them here, and I'll twist them down to the sort of the bottom. I haven't gone far enough. You'll notice I've got to go a little further because I need to go ahead and be able to shove them through that ring. Now, thinking about it in hindsight, I could have opened the ring up, but I did not think about that, honestly. So I'm just twisting them. This is the same technique that you would use to get them onto the lobster claw clasp as well, because those you cannot open. I twist it because it makes it easy to sort of corral those fibers together, and you see how easy that was for me to push it up once I got it started. If I hadn't twisted them, it wouldn't have been that easy. Now I'm going to take a minute and inspect the trims. Some might be long, some might be short. And you see I grabbed this red one because I'm going to go ahead and I got to even that out. So I'm sort of looking for ones that might be short on one side, and then I'll pull them to even them out. And I'm doing that before I tie this together. Alright, so we've got this ready to go. So you'll see I'm going to fold the fibers over. So remember in the beginning when I told you that you measure your book, but then you sort of have to double the length because the fibers fold over? Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. Now you're going to pick either a piece of lace or a piece of ribbon. I recommend ribbon. Lace I don't think is strong enough. And you're just going to, well, you're going to tie it, but you're not going to tie it all the way quite yet. You're going to make it semi-tight, and that way you can pull the fibers down into place. I like a puff top, but I don't like it to be unruly. So you see me tugging at them. Well, that sort of, I don't know, it just puts everything in its rightful place. Now that you have them pulled down, you can go ahead and do a double knot with your ribbon. Once you get that done, everything should be securely in place. You can go ahead and tug it if there's any pieces that are sort of sticking up and looking unruly. Find them and then just pull on them gently. Now we're going to go ahead and prep these fibers for trimming. Since this is a secret garden journal, I'd like to add this key to the tassel. It came with a ball chain, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to wrap it around right where that ribbon is that we tied, and that's how I'm going to secure this key. But the chain is a little bit too long, so I'm going to go ahead and have to trim that to size. I'm going to trim it using wire cutters. I'm going to wrap it around and hopefully I get the measurement correct. It's a little fiddly. It's really small for my fingers, but I'm going to just do the best that I can. Now, I would rather take less now and then have to take more, because if I take too much now, then I can't put it back on, and then that's going to be a problem. All right, let's go ahead and get the key on here, and then we're going to see if it fits. It's incredibly fiddly, but I'm going to persevere. And my friends, I will tell you this, it just fit. It literally fit just perfect. So I felt really happy about that. I love it. I think it looks great. So now, how are we going to hang this from our journal? Well, I happen to have a crocodile. If you don't have a crocodile, you still could do this, but you would want to make sure if you punch a hole in your journal spine that it's nice, the spine is nice and thick and hardy. You could use a awl to do that. You could use a hole punch perhaps to do that. But you're going to want to make sure your spine is strong enough to hold a tassel. So I'm going to use a crocodile and not a brad, but an eyelet. I'm going to use an eyelet. I chose a green one. I was just taking a second here to show the journal off to you. I'm really proud of it. There's an entire book in here, plus journaling space. It's got 6 signatures. I love it. It will be available in my Etsy shop, and there will be a flip through. I don't know if the flip through is going to be before this video goes out or after, but it'll be hopefully within the same week. Just in case you're new to crocodiles, I'll go ahead and just share with you what you do. So you find the spot that you want to punch your hole. And I like to go down at least 1/4 of an inch because you don't want it too close to the edge. Otherwise, there might not be enough strength. And you have to use the hole punch on here that coordinates with the size eyelet that you have. I went ahead and I popped the eyelet into the hole before I pinched it, but sometimes I literally balance it on the crocodile, but because I have the book standing up, I couldn't do that. And here it is. If you've never used a crocodile, I would say my biggest piece of advice would be to make sure that you're not using it upside down. There is a little diagram actually on it, and it shows you which way the brad goes, not the brad, I'm sorry, the eyelet, and which way to pinch it. I hope that makes sense. So just always look at the equipment and you'll be able to figure it out. So you saw me open up our ring here, and I've got it securely on through the eyelet. Here it is. I will also take a picture of it because this is probably a little bit of an awkward angle. Love it. I think it goes beautifully with the journal. I think they are a very nice set. Whoever purchases this journal, obviously the tassel will come with it. I appreciate you spending some time here today. I hope you will give making a tassel a try. Thanks for watching. See you soon.